the beauty of medical education, especially in India, is medical education brings you down to the grassroots realities of this world.
हम बहुत दुख से कलकत्ता में पढ़ाओ जाते रहते हैं, बहुत सुने आपका नाम है, यहाँ दौड़े दौड़े आए हैं बाबू।
I'm one of the few luckiest surgeons in the world to work with him. Actually, that's what I feel myself.
So medical education changes your perspective of life. हार्ट में यहाँ inside में एक बड़ा छेद है। Within 5 to 6 months का उम्र में operation करना है। When I was in 5th standard, my teacher came to my class one day. I think it's about 1964, and he announced that today somebody in South Africa did a world's first heart transplant. He removed the heart of somebody who was dead and put it on a patient who was a diseased heart, and the person who had a heart transplant walked out of the hospital leading a normal life. And I didn't know what medicine was all about. I didn't know about surgery. But all I knew is that that day I said, I want to be a heart surgeon. So before I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a heart surgeon. When you are the 8th child of 9 children, when you are growing up, your parents are obviously old. I do not have a recollection of any picture of, impression about my father and mother being young. My father was a diabetic and my mother had other medical illnesses. So in my formative years as a kid, I had vivid impressions about my parents going in and out of the hospital. So in our life, doctor was a hero. He's like God. So this would have definitely had a big impact on what I wanted to do with my life when I grew up. It's a very interesting observation I have. When I first landed in Calcutta, it is like transformation from Heathrow to Howrah. In England, when you do the operation, everything you use is disposable and everyone knows what their jobs are, and it's like a performing in a very well orchestrated music. Whereas in Calcutta when I started, we didn't even have disposable gloves. We didn't have a radio opaque marked swabs. Cardiac surgery was not very popular those days. But it was a very, very challenging task, but it was a pleasant task because I am doing it for my own country. I'm doing it to save the lives of the people like me. So it was a very long, hard road we took. But at the end of the day, it's very, very satisfying. My long association with mother taught me a lot of very basic things in my life, which is a guiding force in whatever little I'm trying to do to make this world a better place to live. I'm a doctor, I'm like a scientist. For me to accept someone else like me with flesh and blood as God is not acceptable. But I met her, I was asked to see her as a doctor seeing a patient. But my first sight of mother truly convinced me that someone with flesh and blood can be God. My interaction with her is like interaction with the divine. সারা জীবন আপনাকে মনে হচ্ছে এখানে পাথর রয়েছে প্রতিদিন সকালে 1 ঘন্টা করতে আপনি ভালো আছেন 1 বছর পরে আমি আপনাকে দেখব ঠিক আছে
If I get few more years to work with any other surgeon, I would prefer he is my boss. Surgery many people can teach you. Many senior surgeons or many teachers can teach you how to do valve replacement or doing a bypass operation. But this kind of philosophy and the looking life in a different perspective that not many surgeons will do, not many seniors will do. So it will make you a different man, different surgeon, different doctor.
I strongly believe that India will become the first country in the world where every citizen will have a high-tech healthcare with dignity. To make it happen, we have to build large number of hospitals in every town, every city, every metro. Large hospital, not 100-bed, 200-bed hospital. Because 100-bed, 200-bed hospital will give very good quality healthcare to the rich people. But what you need is a large hospital with thousands and thousands of beds, which will look after the working class and poor, which will give all the advanced care like a posh corporate hospital. And for that, we all have to work hard to do this. She has a hole in the heart and the valve is defective. We need to do the operation. But right away, there is no need for us to intervene. Even if I have no medical business with him for more than 1 minute, telling him that his child is perfectly all right, doesn't require an operation, it is humane that I spend 5 minutes with him and talking to him. So, these are the little issues which we learn over a period of time. It is not the quantum of time. It is a quantum of your relationship, how you build your relationship. This is the pediatric cardiac surgical unit. From here till that end, we can accommodate 8 babies. In this complex, we can accommodate up to 80 children who had a heart operation. First impression people had was that in India, children don't suffer from heart disease. And that was ridiculous because we produce 28 million babies a year. We produce the largest number of babies in the world. That means technically we produce about 600 children a day with the heart disease. Now, someone has to fix their heart. Hi, sweetie. Aloo. Aloo. Chocolate. Apni de behun rakhi. Apni de behun rakhi. It's like this. The beauty of pediatric cardiac surgery is you fix their heart and they're going to have 60 or 70, 80 years of life ahead of them, and they will enjoy their life like anybody else. And you don't fix it, they're going to have a very, very traumatic life for 4 or 5 years and they're dead and gone. बच्चा को नॉर्मल बच्चे के जैसे आप ट्रीट करना है. हाँ, उनको डांस कर सकते हैं, गाना गा सकते हैं, सब कर सकते हैं, नो रेस्ट्रिक्शन. कोई मेडिसिन का जरूरत नहीं है. So it is very unfortunate that child is born with a congenital heart disease, but it is fortunate that there is a cure.
When he was born, the duty doctor told us that it's not a normal child, it is some sort of problem. And very soon it was discovered that she has multiple holes in her heart. In fact, she had 3 holes in her heart. Later the doctor told us quite big holes. And surgery might not be possible in Pakistan. That is even more disturbing that we can't do anything here. Either we go to some foreign country like America or Europe, or the nearest option was India.
The baby Noor happened at a time when the relationship between the two countries were in a very sensitive phase. It wasn't a surgical fate, but it was much more than that. It gave an impression to the whole world that Indians are like anybody else in the world, and it didn't matter to us whether baby Nuru is a Pakistani or a Bangladeshi or from America.
When we came back, I think in Pakistan, Dr. Shetty became an icon of kids welfare or kids treatment.
I'm dealing with few hundred lives every day. And those lives are like mine and my family members. So how can you get tired and disgusted with something which is so dear to you?
This show brought to you by IndusInd Bank. Makes you feel richer.
विश्वास है इसमें कुछ खास है जेके सुपर सीमेंट Let's party.
Have the time of your life. Have the time of your life. Have the time of your life.
Silo.
मुझे जीवन दास को कड़ी से कड़ी सजा दी जाए. Objection. जीवन दास को कड़ी से कड़ी.
Green plywood. चलता रहे.
Introducing the new air conditioner from Panasonic with E-ion purifying system, Eco Petrol sensor, and inverter technology saving you up to 60% power. Panasonic inverter AC with Eco Petrol.
That's what I call a real star.
Panasonic. Ideas for life. Domino's का cheese burst pizza delicious liquid cheese से भरा और नया choco lava cake filled with hot liquid chocolate. Domino's खुशियों की home delivery. Lava E9 with features like Edge, Opera Mini Browser, Dual SIM, and mesmerizing sleek looks. Lava E9, the power to attract.
Over 20 million people globally print smart. They recharge their cartridges at Cartridge World. Recharge, because anything else will cost you. SMS print to 56767. I just can't stop dreaming of you through every night of every day, through every turn of every way, dreaming of you. Dreaming of you.
Land Cruiser, the pride of the world. Prado, all-terrain luxury. Fortuner, the art of power. The Toyota range of SUVs, the crux of power.
Take my hand, we'll dream together. I'll be there.
What if the sun's energy was this easy to capture?
I'll be there.
What if the Earth's bounty energized not just us, but our world too?
I'll be there.
At Bharat Petroleum, we're innovating to bring you cleaner, greener energy. Bharat Petroleum, energizing lives.
पलट तो बारिश का असर वेदर कोट ओमकार एक्सटीरियर पेंट इसमें है सिलिकॉन जो दीवार पर पानी टिकने ना दे ट्रूली ड्यूरेबल
Everybody in the world is trying to develop a new operation and a magic pill and all kinds of things. But at the end of the day, what percentage of the population can afford it?
फिर करिएगा
हम करते हैं, आप चिंता नहीं करें।
आप अपने हाथ में रखें
हम करते हैं, भगवान का दया से ठीक है, अच्छा होता है, चिंता नहीं करें। आप चिंता नहीं करें, भगवान का दया से अच्छा होता है। ऑपरेशन के बाद आप सब काम कर सकते हैं, ठीक? our strength is that India is the only country in the world which can dissociate the healthcare from affluence. We will have a very interesting scenario where millions and millions of people living in the slums with no running water, no toilet, but they will have access to high-tech healthcare with dignity. That will happen because India produces the largest number of doctors in the world, nurses in the world, medical technicians in the world.
First time I heard about Dr. Shetty when I was in Bombay during my training in cardiac surgery. One of the senior surgeons there was telling there is one cranky heart surgeon in Bangalore. He is going to spoil all the cardiac surgeon's reputation because he is going to do heart surgery for 60,000 or less than 1 lakh. Because that time in Bombay, one bypass operation used to cost around 4 to 5 lakhs. So then I was thinking, who is this surgeon is going to spoil our reputation actually?
Can I see that ECG? Yeah. This is a small machine called trans-telephonic ECG machine. When you have villages in remote parts of the country where there is a doctor and a patient goes to him with a chest pain and the doctor doesn't know whether it's a heart attack. To know whether it's a heart attack, he needs to do an ECG. And with this machine, they can do the ECG. It costs 10,000 rupees. Okay, and that ECG to the telephone line comes here to our hospital. Irrespective of how far the village is, it can be 300 kilometers or 3,000 kilometers. It comes here instantaneously. Because if I don't need to operate on you, I don't need to touch you. If I don't need to touch you, you don't need to be here.
Can't come out of ventilator. Now he's on CPAP mode, but he always needs a minimal support. He always needs a minimal support. And doctors are very much doubtful how long he will maintain. So, sir, help us, sir. We need your help.
We have to just maintain these children as long as possible with intermittent support, with the belief that one day they will be able to breathe on their own. I'm sure by the grace of God, child will get better. That is a hope.
Sir, whatever support you can give from your end, please do it. We will take the thing. That is our case. We will do everything up to you. Please write any suggestions, your advices. Sir, please save us. Please save a little soul, sir. Save the child, sir. He is my grandchild. Please.
I will do everything possible. Okay. Thank you. If I am doing a job in some other industry where I am dealing with the files and machines, I may not be able to enjoy that to the extent I am doing now. I am dealing with few hundred lives every day. And those lives are like mine and my family members. So how can you get tired and disgusted with something which is so dear to you?
This is the lungs, you can see that there's a small thin layer of tissue is there. First thing he taught us is relax and enjoy your surgery. He always tell you are making a good picture, you are drawing a picture. Relax and do well. Enjoy the work. If you are not enjoying the work, your ultimate result won't be enjoyed.
Dear Dr. Kumar, thank you very much for your mail. Stop. I'm happy to note that you are finishing your training program and in the process of coming back to India. Stop. I strongly feel that as a young surgeon, you have a lot more opportunity to become a star in those cities and eventually come back to Bangalore. We don't generally advertise for jobs. We pick and choose doctors who we want them to join us. And when we get huge number of applications to be trained, especially as heart surgeons. They work for 16, 18 hours every day. and we don't look at whether it's a weekend or a Sunday or midnight. It's hard for them, hard for the family, but if they choose to be heart surgeons, they have to submit themselves to the profession. There is no two ways about it. We only have one life. In that life, we want to train as many surgeons as possible who will be 100 times better than us. They are very egoist. They are not like scientists, they are like artists. They have their own idiosyncrasies. But for whatever reason, we have stuck to each other for most of our life. In fact, we spend more time with our colleagues than with our own wife and children.
We have differences of opinion. We may not see eye to eye, but we walk hand in hand taking care of patients. I mean, this is where you not only find the right partner, but you also be the right partner. I celebrate with an attitude of gratitude to God above all anything else. And then, from the point of view at the human level, I think Dr. Shetty has given me the opportunity to do what I've done. To do over 20,000 heart operations during one's career is not something that is easy.
When I get scrubbed up for an operation, I may spend 4 hours or 6 hours, 8 hours at one go, and he's standing in front of me assisting for the operation. So when I'm operating, I initially talk about the operation, then they talk about life, I talk about something else. So over a period of time, it's very interesting, these young surgeons, when they are sitting in next room, talking to a patient, all of a sudden you get confused whether it's your voice.
Purified blood will come here and go to the...
Because the way they walk, the way they speak, and the way they carry out their life is exactly like ours. We have very rigid rules. I don't like anybody drinking. I don't like anybody smoking. And if any one of them does it, I detest it. And they know that. So it is not the question of training them as perfect surgeons. I want them to be perfect human beings. But this is the way I am. Take it or leave it. Karnataka state government, along with the cooperative society, launched this scheme, and we decided to keep the premium at 5 rupees because 5 rupees is the price of one packet of BD which the villagers smoke. So if you tell the villager that one day you don't smoke and give that money for your health insurance, we thought there is a low threshold. And the other carrot we dangle in front of them is for 5 rupees you can get a heart operation done.
ಯಶಸ್ವಿ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಸ್ವಂತ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ರೈತರಿಗೂ ಅನುಕೂಲ. ದೇವಿ ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ ಅವರು ಅವರು ಒಬ್ಬರು ದೇವರಿದ್ದಂಗೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಗಾಡ್.
In every business there is a pacemaker who changes the rules of the game. Then all the others will follow in that direction and it becomes a norm. We have the privilege of having an opportunity to experiment in new methodology. We have the resources. God has been kind to us in providing all these resources. So we constantly want to reinvent ourselves. এখানে কাট করেছি আস্তে কিছুদিন লাগবে 2 সপ্তাহ 3 সপ্তাহ লাগবে পরে ঠিক হবে No, this is a tiny fraction of what we want to do. We have not even scratched the surface. We believe that the entire delivery model of healthcare would change dramatically. And we believe that healthcare industry will be dominated by healthcare professionals from India all across the world.
Hrudayalaya, the leading global bathroom brand.
If something goes wrong, the first person responsible for that is the patient themselves.
Is there no responsibility that lies with the doctors?
We have been relatively inactive when it comes to bringing out these issues. There has been a conspiracy of silence for too long.
As parents,